I was up all morning watching all the Family Guy episodes. It was 9:30 when I finally heard my mum downstairs. Trying not to disturb my dog who was lying on my lap, I got up and checked the mirror. Damn it, I mumbled under my breath. My eyes were a swollen puffy mess from crying. I grabbed some makeup and tried to cover it up as best I could. Well, it was a little better, but still noticeable. I couldn't tell my mum I was almost killed. Looks like I'll have to play the whole dad card again. I walked downstairs and tried to avoid my mum and just get some breakfast. Well, you're up early, she says, not looking up from her newspaper she was reading. Yeah, I was just gonna grab an apple and go back up to my room. What does she mean by early? It's 9:39. Giving me a good look down and motions me to come to her. She gives me a big hug. Honey, is this about your dad again? I start to tear up at the thought of my dad. I shook my head as tears rolled down my face. Hope, it's been almost a year since your father was murdered. We need to stop moving on. Trust me, that's what he would want. I nod my head slightly and walk away without saying a word. I went up in my room and started to cry. I missed my dad so much. I used to be so close to him. He was on a business trip in Seattle when he was brutally gutted. I knew that he shouldn't have gone. Sweetheart, my mother yells up at me. Me and Rhett are going to the store to shop for a present for Sarah. Her birthday is next week. Will you be okay alone? I'll be fine. It was a little embarrassing that my younger brother had a girlfriend, and I'm still a single loser. But I really liked Sarah. When I was finally calmed down, I decided to take a nap. I lay on my bed and drifted off into sleep. I dreamt about that guy. I didn't scream though when he pulled a knife up. Oh, I just asked why. He just stood there laughing. I woke up shaking. I really need some fresh air. Now I knew that he was a bad idea. But I couldn't help myself. Plus, I wouldn't go far. I put on a purple hoodie and walked outside. It was really foggy. I started walking to Sarah's house to talk to her. She was like my only friend. I could trust her. I felt warm breath on my neck. I felt my heart skip a beat, and I didn't want it to. But I did very slowly and saw him standing there. But it was odd. I didn't see a knife in his hand like I did the last time. Hey, he says, smirking. Hi, I managed to stutter out. Hope, there's no need to be scared. Are you kidding me? You tried to kill me, like, what, 4 hours ago, and now you're telling me not to be scared. Yes, he replied. I looked at him confused. He gave me a cute little smile and started to walk away. Wait, I grabbed his wrist. You know my name, so now I want to know yours. Letting go of his wrist, he looked up. I'm Jeff. I smiled. That name suited him pretty well. When will I see you again? I asked as he walks away. Soon. He says to me. I must have been smiling huge because when I got to Sarah's house, her mum answered the door and asked me if I met a boy. What? No way, I said, trying to sound like I really didn't. Okay then, she gave me a wink. Sarah's up in her room. Thanks. I say I woke up the stairs. She's laying on her bed listening to her iPod. When she sees me, she gives me a big old hug and asks me if I'm okay. Why do you ask? Well, Rhett kinda texted me saying that you were up crying. I probably turned bright red. I was just thinking about my dad. I tell her. She gives me another hug and looks like she's going to cry. No, don't cry. I have some news, I say, trying to calm her. What? You're going to think I'm crazy, but there's a guy. Sarah cuts me off. OMG, now we can have double dates. He tried to kill me. The smile fades away. She was going to say something, but I just shut her up and kept talking. He tried to kill me at like 7 this morning, but he didn't, obviously. I cried all morning before I decided I should come and talk to you. On my way here, I saw him again. He didn't threaten me though. It was weird. I got his name and he said he'd seen me around. Sarah looks speechless, then gives me a joking look. You like him, she says, poking me. I blush a little and look at the floor. Oh my God, Hope. I didn't think you really did. I look up and see at her, tears in my eyes. What's wrong with me? I whisper. I don't know. She looks at me. Do you want me to walk you home? No, I don't want you to get hurt. I give her a hug and leave. Walking back to my house, all I could think about was Jeff. His face was horrific at first glance, but now I kind of liked it. Why didn't he kill me? I ask myself out loud. I just wasn't in the mood to, Jeff said in a joking tone. Where the hell did you come from? I ask him, part joking, part actually curious. I just happened to see you and thought, let's go mess with Hope. I smile at him. We walk in silence for what seems like forever. When he finally said, you know that you're basically leading a psycho killer to your house, right? I stopped and thought for a sec. If you're a killer, then seriously, why didn't you kill me? He looked just as stumped as I did. Usually after I kill someone, I have no regrets whatsoever. In fact, I feel sorta happy. He smiled. But there is something about you. I don't know why, but I can't let you die. I blush big time. He gives me that cute little smile again. I scratch him in the shoulder and we walk to my house. Chapter 3. When we got to my house, he chuckled to himself. What's so funny? I ask. It's cute how you trust me enough to actually show me your house. Well, I'm not scared of you, so what's the harm? He looks confused, but rolls with it. Then he followed me into my house and sat down on the couch. Make yourself at home, I say, sarcastically rolling my eyes at him. You want anything to eat? I ask him, not knowing what to say. Nah, I'm good. He got up and started looking around. Which room is yours? He yells down the stairs at me. Shit. Why did he want to go in my room? It's the purple one, I yell up at him. Jeff's point of view. I walk into her room. Not bad, I think to myself as I walked around her room. I see pictures of her from when she was a little girl. I pick up a picture. She looked she looked a little younger, posing with a guy. I looked at his face, just studying it. Why does he look so familiar? I walked down the stairs, starting to find hope, reading a book. It was Stephen King's It. That's a good book. I laugh at her. Yeah, have a strong observation with anything scary. She definitely looks like a type of girl who would be into that kind of stuff. I pulled out the picture of her and her dad. Who is this? I asked her. She had a sad smile on her face. Oh shit, she's going to cry. That's my dad. He was killed a couple months ago. Her voice started to quiver. I couldn't control myself. I reached out and hugged her. I don't want to see her cry. She looked up at me, her big blue eyes watery. Jeff, what are you doing? She asks. I quickly pulled back. Sorry, I didn't mean. She cut me off with a kiss. I kissed back, then she pulled away. I sat there not knowing what to say. I'm so sorry, she began to speak. I smiled at her and grabbed her hand. It's okay, Hope. I leaned in and kissed her forehead. She blushed and smiled. I wiped a tear from her eye. I heard her mum pull into the driveway. I gotta go, I said. She smiled and waved at me. As I leave her house and start to walk into the forest, I realize I still have the photo of her with her dad and her dad with me. I study his face one more time. How do I know him? Hope's point of view. What the hell just happened? Does he like me? There was no way. When I kissed him, he kissed back. I smiled thinking about it. My brother and mom walked in. They brought home McDonald's. I rolled my eyes. Hope, did I miss something? She says, pointing to my smile. No, I said, trying to hide all my emotions. She tries to hand me a cheeseburger. I just glare at her. Mom, I'm a vegetarian. When will you ever remember? My dad was the only one who understood that I was one. He looked out for me. Mom, on the other hand, not so much. Sorry, honey, I forgot. It's fine. I'm not hungry anyway. I walked into my room and sat to draw a photo of Jeff. I'm not a good drawer, but when I tried, it's not bad. I plugged in my headphones. I put my iPod on shuffle. First song that came on is Give You Help by the All American Rejects. I start singing and drawing until my mom calls me down. I get up and see my mom talking to her asshole boyfriend Joe. He also happens to be a policeman. He's dressed in uniform. Great. Oh, what do you want? I slur at him. He takes off his sunglasses. We need to ask you a few questions, if you wouldn't mind following me. He says. I look at my mom, who is just standing there shaking her head at me. I get in the passenger seat of his police car and he drives me to the station. Wouldn't be the first time I was there. He walked me to his office and tells me to take a seat. What did I get busted for now? I saw, rolling my eyes. I put my feet on his desk. He gives me a look, but I ignore it. People heard you scream this morning, Hope. What happened? I took Ozzy for a walk and he bit me, so I screamed. There, are we done? He reached across the table and slapped me right in the face. I stared him in the eye with a look of disgust. I didn't want him to find out about Jeff. I got up and walked out of his office. Get back here, he screamed at me. I kept walking. There was no way I was going to take abuse from him. I walked out the police station and headed towards my house. It was freezing cold and I didn't bring a sweatshirt. Good going, Hope. I walked for a while and then sighed. I'm lost. It's freezing, it's getting dark, and I'm lost. I felt hands wrap around my waist, thinking it's Jeff. I turned around, but it wasn't Jeff. It was my ex-boyfriend Mike and his army of goons. What do you want? I spit at him. Don't you know it's not safe for a beautiful young girl like you to be walking around at night? He says, grabbing my butt. I try to run away, but it's no use. I'm stuck here. He starts kissing me. I kick him in the balls, and he screams like a little girl. I try running, but I'm surrounded. All his minions have baseball bats. Oh no, shouldn't have done that, sweetheart, he says, anger in his voice. One of the boys hit my knee and I fall head to the ground. Then another hits me in the stomach. I cough up blood. Then one last boy hits my head. As I start to black out, I see one of the boys fall dead.